Hello, everybody, and welcome back once more to Anime, Yay or Nay. I am TheOutbackAl.
I'm Yin&Jung.
I'm Envy Jitters.
I'm CheerandCosplay.
And I'm Kozi.
And it's Oscar month. But not the Oscars currently happening. Old Oscars. Former Oscars. Some that were never Oscars because they was only nominated Oscars. There's a very limited number of anime movies that have been nominated for Best Animated Feature, and we covered some of them already, but here are the three that we never did. So, what are we watching this week? We're watching Mirai no Mirai from Mamoru oh god, here we go. We're off to a bad start. Yeah, Mamoru Hosoda. I love this guy's work. I enjoyed this very much. Has anyone seen this before?
Not this
Yeah, this was my first time.
No.
Nope.
Okay. Well, we have covered some of his stuff on the channel before, like, I think at the very least, Digimon, which I love, and Summer Wars, which I love. And I'm trying to think of any others.
That was it. Oh, the girl that left through time.
Girl Who Leapt Through Time. I don't think we watched Wolf Children for the channel yet.
No, we haven't
Really?
watched Wolf
No,
Children.
we haven't. Honestly,
Iconic.
guys, I'm genuinely, every time I watch one of this guy's movies, I'm like, you know what? We should just do a whole month. Later, let's do a whole month of this guy's stuff for stuff we haven't seen yet. And Digimon, because I want to watch Digimon again. But
He did Belle, right?
he did do Belle. This guy...
Did you guys watch Belle?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen Belle.
He has one coming out too, I think.
Um,
Scarlet?
Scarlet, I think, came out last year, and I think I'm seeing stuff for it either on HBO or Netflix or something, so it's probably available now. Honestly, I'm gonna be real. I look at this guy's filmography, I'm like, he doesn't miss.
Yeah, true.
I think we should talk a little bit about, the awards and stuff, because, what did this thing get beat out by? Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse.
So,
yeah.
I'm like...
Yeah, there's no winning against the Spider-Verse.
Fair. The question would have been, though, against the others, could it have maybe won?
No,
It was
absolutely not.
It wouldn't have won against Incredibles 2, Isle of Dogs, and Ralph Breaks the Internet.
No.
Incredibles 2 was considered a disappointment by many. I never saw Isle of Dogs, but it's a Wes Anderson film, so you either love his style or you don't. And I hear Ralph Breaks the Internet was a big disappointment. I haven't
Ralph
seen
Breaks
it
the
yet.
Internet was bad.
Yeah.
Isle of Dogs was critically acclaimed, so.
I don't think it was as good
Again,
as Fantastic
Wes
Mr.
Anderson.
Fox, personally.
Again,
No,
Wes
it
Anderson.
wasn't.
But I think this could have beaten the others. But yeah, Spider-Verse is Spider-Verse, so...
I don't think it could have. I think out of all his works, this is probably the weakest shit I have ever seen from him.
Okay.
Spoiler alert, Kozi did not like this.
Oh, damn. All right, well, we might as well talk
Which
about
is
it a little bit.
ironic because this is probably my second favorite of his that I've seen behind Summer Wars.
Oh,
so,
wow.
And just
Wow.
This was Child Neglect the movie.
we got two people clearly on opposite ends of the spectrum. We're going to see where everyone else falls, I guess. So this story is essentially just the story of a 4-year-old who has a new baby sister. It's I was not expecting a slice of life movie from this guy necessarily, but I guess a lot of his stuff does border on that. It just also has a lot of fantastical elements that usually get thrown in, and of course they do get thrown in near the end. I'm not sure how much we're going to go into spoilers for this movie that's almost a decade old, but there's some time travel shenanigans involved. It might be in the kid's head, might not. Couldn't completely be in the kid's head. He'd have access to
But the
information.
dolls, though.
The dolls, though. The dog, though.
It's either it happened or there were drugs in those crackers.
I mean, I don't know what the food standards are in Japan. I have to assume better than America, but who can say for sure? So, yeah, the kid's little sister is named Mirai, and I guess she so Mirai no Mirai, and it means future, so it's like Mirai from the future, or Mirai of the future, so it's a fun little name, but he's running into his sister and other family members from both the past and future throughout the film as they're kind of I guess, teaching him little life lessons about how to deal with kind of the changing dynamic of his family life.
They're parenting him. They are parenting him where his actual parents are not.
Yeah. You got mom is working a lot and dad is not ready for this.
And yet this is their second child.
Yeah, I think it kind of flipped because I guess mom was doing a lot of the home stuff for the first kid,
No,
and then dad was
They
working a
said
ton.
mom was doing everything for the first kid. She was still working.
So dad wasn't there at all. And
Dad just wasn't doing shit. And she was
Yeah.
like, yes, useless king that gets me so horny. Put another one in me.
And then it's flipped now where dad's at home more often and mom's not. So they're figuring that out. And yeah, It's a lot. So, okay, you know what, let's just go with Envy and Kozi. Like, I want to hear these, like, opposite end reactions here.
My visceral, like, reaction is mainly coming from watching. Like, I'm sure it's supposed to be cute, lighthearted, like, family comedy, but those parents are straight up neglecting those children, plural. Like, the amount of times they just fuck off, they have no idea what either child is doing, which is very concerning when one is a 4-year-old and one is a literal newborn. But, like, oh my god, the bike scene specifically, where the dad's like, I'm doing nothing! Go, child, go! Yay! Like, fucking do something. Be involved in your child's life. Oh my god. His dead great-grandfather did more for him than you did.
And he would know that was his not yet born great-grandson. That time travel's weird.
Like, do you know how insane it is that you are such a removed parent that your child spends one afternoon with a dead man and is like, no, that's my dad?
I do have to ask, where are we feeling about as far as, like, is it in the kid's head? Is it not in the kid's head? He clearly had access to information that he would not have at the age of 4.
I tend to believe it's real. I just believe this is a magical world that you just don't question.
Okay.
Oh.
I think
thought it was
it's
completely in its head.
I think it's like a magical realism thing. I think the tree or something was magical, and it's about like a kind of like family tree metaphor, but it's an actual magical thing.
I think they said at the end that it was the index of their entire, it like literally is their family's tree.
Mamoru has never had a movie where it hasn't had some sort of magical element to it that's actually happening.
Yeah, I think like that also like kind of colors my opinion, because all of his things are kind of mystical, magical, or science fiction-y.
Fair point. I was wondering, was he trying something new?
But also, I just feel like there are elements where, how could it have been that way? Like, the doll's moving, and then both the parents being like, did you do it? No. Like, what would have happened? Like, the kid moved it all by himself? I don't know.
And, again, why would that not be concerning as a parent? That is, like, the whole debate of, like, when Santa Claus exists in movies, parents are like, did you buy him that? No, did you? And they're just like, I would freak out, personally.
Small tangent, but like I did see a thing recently where it was discussing like the Santa Claus, the Tim Allen movie from back in the day, and it's like, the last Santa had to have been such an asshole. Like, really think about it. Like, you did not want to give the 3-year-old the Oscar Mayer weenie whistle? What did the 3-year-old do to get on the naughty list? Like, how bad could he have been? You're just an asshole. Like, nothing for nothing, and people are like, you know, how did he slip off the roof? So maybe he was a drunk. Maybe the last Santa Claus was horrible.
Maybe the reindeer pushed him.
Hey, I mean,
there was a reason why the North Pole was such a miserable state before Tim Allen took over, and then everyone got cheered up by the second film.
Yeah, and we did see in the Jack Frost movie that Santa literally controls like every aspect.
Oh yeah, like putting that in perspective, it's like Bernard's like so done with everybody, and it's like, oh, this makes sense now. You're the firstborn in this abusive household, and now Dad's gone, and you have better dad. Ugh, it makes it so dark. Anyway, this movie, which clearly doesn't have any dark connotations at all. I said that like it was a joke, but I'm trying to think like, well, I mean, if you want to look at the elements.
Well,
of, like,
the last sequence in the last act was definitely nightmare fuel.
Yeah, hey, let's look at the great-grandpa as he's blown up and bleeding out.
Oh, I wasn't even talking about the flashback. I was talking about the whole sequence with the train.
Oh,
and
the hell train.
Yeah,
that's where I'm kind of going. This is in the kid's head. This is a nightmare, like, that a kid would have.
Yeah, the train part definitely felt like a child's imagination.
It was also weirdly animated because like it was like a full CG 3D background, and then the kids were like superimposed on it. Like, I mean, I've seen that style before. I'm not sure I'm a fan of it.
I think this was like his work bridging like his fully 2D versus Belle came out after this, and that was like fully CG 3D.
I think Scarlet is also animated like that. So he might have been testing out some of the technologies at the time.
Which, I mean, both sets of sequences look well. It's just jarring to mix them.
Yeah.
But I do think that works being in, like, a nightmare setting.
Yeah. It actually...
Like, if any part's going to make you uncomfortable, it should be that part.
I think the ticket guy in particular was very disconcerting, and I really liked that. I don't know.
Ticket guy... I don't know if anyone else got this. Did Ticket Guy give anyone else Witch from Madoka vibes?
What way?
A
I don't know,
little,
something
but
about the texture of him.
Oh, okay.
I was too busy thinking about Disco Elysium.
Okay. I think there was a lot of CGI in this movie, but I think for the most part it was used pretty well. Though there is, if you know where to look, it's like, oh yeah, that's definitely that. And there's a couple spots where it stands out just a little bit more.
I didn't notice it until the very end with the station nightmare train thing.
I definitely noticed it when they were riding the bike.
Yeah.
Even the great grandpa, he was CGI for a second. But for the most part, it wasn't jarring. Oh, the trains were also CGI when the kid was looking out the window. That looked really bad to me. But other than those two spots, I think it was blended pretty well. And I think the Nightmare Fuel train station was kind of purposeful, so I didn't mind that. It was just the trains when he was like not at the Nightmare Fuel station, and then the bicycle that I didn't like.
I think the train station where Mirai like takes him home is about the only place where you could argue this isn't actually happening in real life, because she kind of blew the roof off of the train station.
She can fly! Honestly, I have to ask this as well. Can we explain the dog, Yuko's persona, or whatever was going on there?
I mean, I would imagine dogs or any pets that were just the sole center of attention would probably feel that once a baby
I hear
is brought in.
I meant more along the lines of like, why are we personifying the dog right now? And it I guess you're right, magical realism. It's just like everything else did feel like, oh, this was a thing that really happened versus...
My problem with the dog was that there was no purpose to the dog part, because everything else like correlated to how the kid was feeling, or like a conflict that he was having in his life with his family, or just in his life in general, like frustration with the bike, or like frustration with his mom, or whatever was going on with this kid. Like, then it correlated with the family members and him discovering something about that. But then what was with the dog? He wasn't even frustrated with the dog.
I can probably answer that.
The dog shared his
100%.
frustration.
Yeah, that was around him feeling abandoned, because the dog was saying, I felt abandoned when you came around.
I guess that's true, but I don't know. It just like didn't work for me with that one. I guess the other ones felt like they had like a story that was directly related to them, and it felt like it had some like impact. And I felt like the dog one was just for like funsies. I don't know. Just didn't work for me.
I don't know about anyone else, but I was mentioning this to you, that when the first sequence, because it's with the dog and it's with the person that the dog turns out to be, but I said to you, like, this is giving Goblin King from Labyrinth right now. Is he about to steal the baby? I didn't know what was going to happen. I was like, tell me that it doesn't a little bit. Suddenly you go from your normal house, which, first of all, the house, pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
it's not childproof at all.
No, it's
That is the weirdest fucking house design I have ever seen.
He was working with the terrain that he had. But like, I was like, okay, we're going from what we know is a real house to suddenly fantasy land, and then a man shows up and is talking about your baby sister and is given like this weird vibe of like, okay, this is a kidnapper. What's going on? Like, there's no way they made an anime Labyrinth, but like, and they didn't. But now I want an anime Labyrinth. I don't know.
When Mirai shows up in the garden, she shows that Kun is very easily kidnappable.
Yeah, that's true.
He followed that trail so easy. Like, again, I know I'm hounding on the fact that these parents were neglectful, but what the fuck were you teaching your kid? He literally would go for the van that says free candy.
I gotta tell you though, I don't know what 4-year-old wouldn't. Which again is like, you need to keep an eye on your kids, but it's also like, yeah, no, if absolutely. I did like the little interactions with like between the kid and the baby, because I'm just like, oh god, yeah, no, that's exactly probably what I did to my little brother. Whenever he came home, like, yeah, I'm gonna poke his face, I'm gonna do stuff. Like, I do think the kids act like kids.
That mom had so much time to stop him from smacking her in the face with that train.
Yeah, that
she just
sat back and watched.
She just clutched her pearls like, woman.
I'm wondering if it was like just a moment of like, I can't believe that this happened, of like, you never even considered the possibility. That's the only thing I could say. But even then, it's like...
I don't know how deeply you guys have ever had to, like, parent young children like that.
Not very much.
It's an instinct. It is an instinct to immediately, like, cock block something heading towards their head.
I don't think you should use cock block in a sentence with babies.
Train block.
I did take a screen cap of the baby sitting in the bassinet with all the trains piled in around her, and then sent that to my family. It's like, I'm so glad that our third sibling was not born first, because this is what would have happened. You guys are lucky I am eldest.
Like, nothing for nothing. It does feel like kids, because it's like, yeah, here, take a look at all the things that I'm interested in. And the kid's just like, what the fuck is going on? I'm barely alive yet.
I'm not supposed to get a conscious until I'm 4 or 5.
I was 3 when my first sibling was born, and I was very much into, like, babies at the time. So I was like, yay, a new doll to play with. And he would like to go in my little play stroller, my play bath.
Shame you weren't into trains.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I had that train set as a little toddler. Man, he got like the work. I wonder if his dad built him some of those trains too, because he's an architect.
No, because his mom had train sets.
Yeah.
From her house.
Well, I think it was her little brothers.
She had the child sequence.
Honestly, they look so similar. I'm wondering if they were the little brothers' train sets from when she was a kid.
Could be.
Honestly, nothing for nothing.
And even have his own special interest. Had to get a hand-me-down for that as well.
Hey, I'm going to throw this out there. I have train sets from when I was a kid because they, like, when you got them back in the day when they were, like, made of good stuff, they last. Like, you guys know I have a nephew now. He really likes seeing the little Thomas the Tank Engine going around underneath the Christmas tree. And, like, I think that was my dad's back when he was a kid. It still holds up. I'm really concerned about, like, you know, how long the electrical adapter thing is going to hold up for it. And it's got some really old school wiring on it that I'm a little like, hey, but my dad's actually...
Your dad worked in electricity.
Yeah, he could probably fix one of those things if it does go wrong, but it's like ancient and still works perfectly. But I'm gonna be honest, I was jealous of that train set. I wanted to play with it.
Especially cool. Like it kept growing.
Yeah.
Like originally we were like, oh, he has like a bin, and then there's like 2 bins, and then like there's train tracks all over the house.
You know what? I was the same way, but I was a Lego kid.
Was anyone a Mega Bloks kid?
No, my parents could afford
Legos.
Oh, I sound like such a dick.
How does it feel to be the worst cop ever?
Honestly, though, like, Mega Bloks felt way more child-friendly than Legos.
Oh, yeah.
How so?
That was their point. They're fat.
They're like, larger, they're easier to handle, and, like, they don't click into each other as firmly as Legos do. Like, you click something down onto a Lego, and, like, as a child, that's down forever.
I might be, like, misremembering. I thought there was, like, at the very least, there was a version of Mega Bloks that was comparable, like, even interchangeable sizes with the Legos. I know there were some Mega Bloks that I had that worked with the Legos.
I think Duplo is the Lego brand equivalent of Mega Bloks, if I'm remembering correctly.
Okay.
It's like the thick ones.
Like, the whole appeal of Mega Bloks was that they were, like, actual block size.
Okay. It's been a while since I've played with some of those, so I'm not as familiar anymore.
Like, we got into Legos when we were older, and that's when we were doing, like, Bionicles. And that shit sucked.
You don't like Bionicles? What?
No, I love Bionicles. They look amazing. They're so cool. Putting them together sucks.
Oh, no it doesn't. What are you talking about?
I hated putting them together. All, like, the little moving parts and rubber bands. Oh, go fuck yourself, Lego.
Dude, I loved that shit. Loved piecing those together. It was fantastic. You know, you and me are different.
It's like the ADD versus the autism.
Okay. Yeah. That might be it. Who knows? What are we thinking this kid has? Quite frankly. I didn't want to make jokes, but he's so into trains. But he's also 4.
Childhood trauma. He has childhood trauma because his parents don't pay any attention to him.
He's a toddler. I don't think it would be anything.
Yeah,
yet.
No, I don't think. Next year it will be dinosaurs.
Yeah, he'll change a couple times, as we all did.
I have a minor gripe from the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Just in terms of, I don't know if this is dubbed. We watch subbed, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched the dub.
The translation in the sub wasn't always fantastic, but very specifically. I don't know how they actually spell his name, but Kun is typically just the denotion to mean little boy.
Yeah, we thought that they were using an honorific as opposed to his name, like how they do
I
that.
don't think so.
But then they call him
I think
Kun-chan.
I'm gonna throw out
Yeah,
there.
I think his name is actually Little Boy. But beyond that, they used very specific language for mother and father, which was Chichiue and Hahue.
Mm-hmm.
That is very strict formal language. That is the terms of address that was usually used in nobility to refer to your parents.
Huh.
That is my noble mother, my noble father.
Interesting.
That is how they have him referring to them.
So what are you thinking?
And they refer to each other. He does still call them Otosan and Akasan, but it just those existing in the movie at all and how extremely formal they are is very weird, especially given his age. That is something you might expect to see used with a child who is in their teen years as a oh, you're in trouble moment. But that they did not think of themselves in terms of just mom and dad. They were thinking of themselves in terms of Chichiue and Hahue. Ooh, ego trip.
Yeah, I do wonder, why do you guys think they named him Kun? The writers. What was the deal there?
Again, it would depend very specifically. Kun has a few different ways of quote-unquote spelling. So it would depend on what they actually used for characters in his name.
I don't know as far as kanji, but the wiki says K-U-N.
Yeah,
as far
I think
as
it's
that
the
goes, but that's-
suffix.
How it's romanized will always be
Yeah.
K-U-N, but it can still have different meanings depending on the character that was used.
I don't know. They have the kanji on the voice cast list on the Wikipedia.
Oh yeah, is it the same as the suffix?
I don't know if you want to look at that because I feel you're going to be able to tell me a lot better than I can.
Let's see.
That's just hiragana. That's ku and
Okay, so that doesn't tell you anything?
It is not usually the suffix, no.
I think it is different.
No, it's definitely different. I'm trying to see what the meaning would be in hiragana. Still an honorific for young boys or male peers.
Oh my god.
No,
It's-
so they 100% named him Young Boy.
I was about
think
to be
it is
like,
boy.
is this God of War? Boy.
Boy.
Maybe they were trying to
Or
make
Bird
it he could be any child.
That's a possibility.
Make him a, self-insert.
Because, the other characters don't seem to have, actual names. It's just mother and father.
Yeah.
Is this Lady and the Tramp?
Maybe.
Audience surrogate.
Right.
I don't know, because they gave them actual names, it looks like, in the voice cast.
They took 7 days to name Mirai.
Right, that's what I was
Maybe
saying.
they just forgot.
and they did initially ask him for idea. These people should never have been parents. It doesn't even look like they should have been together. It seems like they kind of hate each other. They're constant. Actually, I'll roll that back. The dad seems really into the mom. The mom seems to despise the fuck out of him.
It's a possibility.
I don't know. I think they kind of seem like.
Why did you get married?
In terms of their relationship, I think they kind of seem just stressed out, new parents. I don't know. Their relationship didn't seem that weird to me.
She called him useless to his face 8 separate times, and she really implied that he was no help at all when she had Kun.
I mean, he was no help at all.
She
but
was
we
still
were
working.
very
She was
clear
taking
about
care of the
that.
house. She was taking care of the kid, but
And he was like, I was constantly at work during the first kid.
even beyond that, she's just always throwing out little barbs. Maybe they had a better relationship before they had a child, but after Kun, you can tell this relationship has deteriorated some.
Maybe I'm reading too much into the husband on this, but what if he's into that?
I can see it.
Well, maybe he is.
Yeah, I think he just, yeah.
I don't know, whether it's good or bad, I feel like I've seen many parents who act like this, so maybe it just feels kind of realistic to me. Whether or not they should be acting like that, I don't know. But it's still I don't know, to me felt like a realistic portrayal of how I've seen a lot of parents act. I don't know.
Yeah. kind of felt the same
But
way.
then you also have to consider, we are from a generation where, by far and large, most parents would have split up if it was not for the societal pressure to stay together once they were pregnant.
Yeah, I don't know if this family is meant to be like the ideal family. I just got the sense that they were supposed to be, I don't know, a somewhat relatable family. Like you could have maybe experienced this as a child or as a young parent, or like some of these feelings that come up you can maybe relate to a little bit. And I felt like it achieved that. I don't know that it was supposed to be like ideal, or that they were supposed to be like the best family, you know?
I agree with you on that, because I think there are some things in this movie that I don't get from a societal standpoint. The dolls, for example. You and me were having a conversation about that. We don't get what the significance is, but we understand that it is significant. But yeah, it just felt like this is
They
a family
explained the
going through
significance.
stuff. I missed it then. It's for good luck or something, but then it's also like you didn't take it down at the right time. I don't understand the specifics of the ritual of it.
It's a festival.
Yeah, I don't understand
It's
like
a
what's the
festival.
problem of like
So
not taking it
during
down.
the festival, to pray for good luck during the festival, you put the dolls out.
Okay.
And then every day after the festival ends that you don't put the dolls away, and they did explain this in the movie, every day is an additional year it will take for that daughter to get married.
I totally missed them explaining that.
So-
That
Yeah, I
was
missed
my
that.
bad.
Yeah, I did too.
They did explain that. Like they spent like a good 5 minutes explaining it in the movie.
I went over my head.
I was too concerned about the dog and what the implications were.
The reason Mirai specifically changed her mind about Kun putting them away is because they were ritual items and they have to be handled with a certain level of care.
Yeah.
But she was entirely like, Dad left these out too long. I'm not going to be able to get married until I'm an old woman.
It does beg the question, how long did they leave it out in the original
Right.
timeline or something? Unless this is like fixed point stuff where like she was always going to go back to make this thing happen. But then why would she need to go back unless she was supposed to?
Don't know, I've gone cross-eyed.
I suggest you don't worry about this sort of thing and just enjoy yourself.
This is magical realism. Don't try to make sense of it.
It is. Yeah.
What were you saying though? I feel like you had a thought.
I think I lost where I was going with that.
Oh, you were talking about the family.
Yeah, I think like you said, I do think this is a realistic portrayal of, frankly, kind of parents who are kind of in over their heads a little bit,
Yeah.
trying to do their best, but it's kind of like every year that their first kid is getting older, cool, this is the first time we've had to deal with this now.
Right.
And this is difficult because now we don't know what to do. We just had him figured out at the age of 3. Now he's 4. Shit. It's like, and now we have a baby on top
Again,
of
though,
it.
but like there are so many instances, and like this might be like a cultural difference between us and Japan, because I do know they encourage like independence much younger than we do.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
There are so many instances where like Kun literally just fucks off. Like he's obviously upset. He says he's running away. He obviously has access to the street, and he'll run off and they don't see him for like hours, and they're just like, yeah, that's fine.
I mean,
I guess
they'll
part of it
send.
is like, you know, how like little kids like go to school by themselves and stuff in Japan, and they kind of just like take the train by themselves. I think there is a certain like you said, like level of independence like small kids have a lot of the time. And I do think like with the bicycle thing even.
But we also we saw that he's not quite old enough where he is at that level though, because Dad's still taking him to and from school.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe next year. Maybe 5 is the year that he will become fully independent, and then he'll get a job, and then he'll...
Oh my god.
No. This isn't grandpa. This isn't great-grandpa's era.
And like they portray like the parents being like, yes, no, we were right to like push him to be independent, but then privately we as the viewers see he's not succeeding on his own. He's being guided and actually supported more than from his parents. In order, I think it's his dog, his baby sister, a dead man, and then a hell train. Like, he's being guided in his actions. It's just not from them. So, like, the whole, oh, he's just gonna be, like, independent and succeed. Like, that's wrong. And the movie even says that's wrong.
But I think it is a metaphor for him working things out for himself, like when you're growing up. Like, whether or not this is actually happening or in his imagination, I think the movie is framing it as like a child learning things about himself and his family and how to handle things.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's kind of like why I see it all as happening in his head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How he's like learning empathy and learning how to like work out the rules of the world within himself. And also like all the times he fucked off, it was in the courtyard in his house. I don't think he was actually going anywhere.
Yeah, true.
Also, when you think about it from a time travel
But
perspective,
he had access to the street. The door to the street was through that courtyard.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of kids
Also
play in
down
their
a set of
yard.
stairs we saw. He has trouble navigating.
yeah, he does have trouble navigating those stairs a little
Yeah,
bit.
in the yard, but again, when your child is that upset and he like runs out, and you as a parent are just, we saw like in that first instance, I think the dad went back to doing housework and the mom took a nap.
I'm
Like,
forgetting.
you have 2 children, not just the baby.
Yeah. I do have to say, because we're discussing elements of time travel here, if he does come back at the same point that he left, then they wouldn't have noticed him leave at all, perhaps.
I think of it like, if we're going to assume that like this stuff is really happening, I think of it like as happening on a different plane of existence. Like, he's kind of like what Cece said, he's not leaving the courtyard or anything, but he's being like transported mentally, I guess, in a magical sort of way. That's how I see it. I don't think he's actually going anywhere, even if the fantastical stuff is happening.
Wait a second. Cece, are you saying it's all happening in his head because you hate the idea that this how this time travel works?
Yeah, 100%. And also just like, this reminds me a lot of my family. It was growing up in the 90s, my parents and my first sibling, like, my parents were busy. They were...
And I would raise to you, your parents did not parent you, your grandparents were in charge of that.
When we moved out of their house, like, me and the baby, we would go play in the front yard. My parents had stuff to do. They had jobs, they had school. I spent a lot of time imagining things just like this.
Okay, but like that is completely normal and healthy. But again, like this child is sobbing, falling all over himself, obviously having a breakdown, saying, I'm gonna run away, running actively towards the door that he can open.
There's also...
And your instinct to that is just, nah, he'll work it out for himself.
I'll also throw out there, next to the door outside is the door basically to his playroom.
Yeah.
It's possible they just watched
Which
to make sure he's
we
not
did not know
going...
was there until the very, very end. Like, the amount of times they ran past the stairway to put Mirai down, and then they went to answer the door, and I'm just like, did they just, like, throw the baby in the trash? What the fuck?
Their house is confusing.
They couldn't have thrown the baby in the trash, otherwise the future daughter would not have been able to come... Envy, I feel like we haven't heard a lot from you. You said you really liked this.
Is everyone else finished? Because I was...
Well, I mean, jump in whenever you like. Let me hear some of this.
I have one more thing.
Okay.
They did bring up the cyclical nature of kind of abuse and neglect when addressing how his mother grew up, because she kind of went through something similar. So, like, it's definitely an element of, like, he saw his mom being parented the same way he was being parented, and she even acknowledges, I never wanted to parent that way, and yet she is. And it's, like, the cyclical nature in generational curses. Go ahead, Envy.
Well, I completely disagree with everything Kozi said, respectfully. I never felt he was abused at all. I never felt any kind of neglect. I liked the parents and their dynamics. Everything worked for me because, let's be honest, toddlers can be little shits. They throw temper tantrums and they think the world is ending around them, and they'll say one thing, but they clearly don't mean it because they just don't know any better. And I think all of these experiences that he went through from the tree, whether it be from the personification of his dog, great-grandpa, or sister, whether they're real or not, kind of put it in his little 4-year-old mind that his family are trying. And at the very end, when he finally realized that, oh, I have to be a good big brother to Mirai, that kind of impacted me a lot because I am 5 years older from my sister, so technically he was 4 years older than his sister, but I kind of felt the same. I mean, granted, I wasn't the exact same as Kun, because he didn't really want the sister. I wanted a baby sister. I remember telling my parents when I was 4, I want a baby sister, and I want her named such and such, not knowing how biology worked, but it ended up working out.
Did the name? Did they use that name?
Yes, they did.
Oh, hey.
I'm not going to say it out loud because I'm not going to dox
No,
my
I got you. We just needed to know. We just needed to know.
Yes.
Did you get your way?
Yes, I did get my way. But
Good.
I can't believe you just doxed so-and-so.
Yeah, I know.
Did you name her
But
after a train?
Yeah, but I did feel for Kun in the sense of at the end of the movie feeling the responsibility of being a big brother, and I kind of felt, okay, obviously the dad is the stereotypical parent that's in over his head, but again, my parents argue and bicker with each other all the time, even to this day, and me and my sister are 31 and 25, but they still do it out of a place of love, and sometimes you're exhausted, sometimes you're frustrated. The mom is going back to work, working a full-time job. The dad, yes, he's working from home, but he's still, maybe he never helped out with the first kid, but now it's raising 2 kids. And, when you have a bunch of kids that are around the same age or in the toddler to infant range, it is tough. I mean, I have cousins in Florida who have a toddler and infants. In fact, I have a cousin in Florida who has 2 under 2 right now. So I can only imagine what that's like for them right now. So for me, everything worked in this movie. Like, the last sequence of the movie, I think, was a little too surreal, and I felt it was a little jarring from the earlier tone of the movie, but overall, I think everything in the film worked for me. And I will say, from earlier, I have not seen Wolf Children, Boy and the Beast, or Belle yet, so that's why I said it's my second favorite of his films. The only films I've seen from him is Digimon Girl and Let Through Time, Summer Wars, and all this.
We need to watch Wolf Children because you're gonna like it. It's gonna make you really sad.
Envy,
I can imagine.
I think you just picked out the entire month for whenever we do something for this, so that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome. But yeah, like, maybe it's just the way that I watched it, the way that I have. Keep in mind too, I have never raised a child. My only interactions with small children are my sister when she was growing up, and now when I see my cousins in Florida once a year. So like, I don't know what the pressure is like of raising a child. And I also will say too, like we talked about earlier, in Japan, it is very different culturally raising a kid. They do have more independence. It's not uncommon for 5 or 6 year olds to go to the store to get something like that, or to have them have more independence. Like in America, you would not, maybe back in the 60s or 70s, but not nowadays. You wouldn't have kids being more independent like that. So it's just a cultural thing that I just kind of accepted.
I think part of the problem is like anybody who's going to watch something that is kind of this slice of lifey around like families and expanding the families and stuff like that, is it is going to be colored and biased very heavily by our own experiences growing up. The only thing I'm going to say is I had to raise my 2 younger siblings and my nephew starting when I was 12, and I still did a better job than those fuck-ass parents.
I guess we'll just have to agree to disagree, because I really I didn't see them as neglectful to him. But
We'll say we're also, when I'm thinking about it, we're only seeing like a small bit of time in this, because I think, what did they say? She was the baby was at least 3 months old at some point in the movie. So it's been a couple months. We're basically seeing like one portion of a day for any of these sequences. So, and then there's like a month or more that we're not seeing.
I think we're also kind of seeing it from the child's perspective. And to a child, like, little incidents will feel like larger than maybe they are sometimes. So it's like, I could see how, like, when I felt like ignored as a child or something, it might feel like bigger than maybe it was, or say, your emotions are very, very strong as a child sometimes. So like, I could see how maybe the writer is like going also from the perspective of a child.
But like, that's the thing is like, yeah, it may not feel like a big a deal to an adult, but to a child, that is like, they don't have the life or world experience. It is a parent's job to help them like manage and navigate those very large feelings, because half the time they don't even understand why they're feeling that way. And like, there were so many instances where it was very clear to us through what was happening on screen that this child was very overwhelmed, and like, he was obviously feeling abandoned by his parents for his new sister. And instead of acknowledging or addressing that at all, they would just yell at him and instead focus on the sister.
I guess, like, for me at least, I feel like the story focus was like on his growth, and maybe that's why I felt okay with like how it was handled, because it gave him like room to like work things out himself or like learn things about himself. And I think that was like the interesting part of the story, is him growing as a character and as, you know, a little child and learning things. And I feel like if his parents had like been, I don't know, like helping him all the way through, maybe we wouldn't have gotten to see that growth.
I'm also going to be honest. There were times where I thought Kun was a little shit, and I was glad when his parents yelled at him, because I feel like the soft parenting method wouldn't have worked.
I mean, yes, it does. Gentle parenting by far and large works.
I mean,
and
the whole
it's the fact that they are ignoring those emotions. If they would have acknowledged and helped him with those emotions, gave him a name, an outlet to express them, validated them, it works. They are not actually fucking doing anything to like enforce boundaries with this child. They're letting him throw his tantrums and they're ignoring him.
But I don't know that that would have worked for the narrative though.
No, definitely not for the narrative, but like...
But I see what you're saying, but I think for
he's
the story
a 4-year-old
to move
child.
And also, like, for an example, like the whole sequence where he throws a tantrum over his pants, like, what do you do as a parent? Like, do you make him, like, put on the yellow pants or something like that? Come on. Like, he's being ridiculous as a 4-year-old. Even as a 4-year-old, he's like, wear the damn pants.
I did like that moment later on where
He's not being ridiculous. He is being a 4-year-old.
I did like at the end where he's like, he took that moment and had that moment of, like, reflection of, like, I don't need the yellow pants. It's okay to wear the blue pants. Did anyone think in that moment that he did look like Luffy, though?
You gotta do with the hat.
He looked like he was one red vest away. That's all
You
I'm
know
saying.
what's funny? I actually looked up...
He made a One Piece movie, yeah.
I was going to say he made a TV One Piece movie.
Okay, tangent over. Go back to what you were saying.
But I think, like, with stuff like, for instance, the pants and everything, I think, like, no matter how it would be handled, like, in real life or how it should be handled in real life, I think it worked to serve the story because, like, you could see, like, when he met up with his older teenage self and they talked about it and the teenage self was like, is it really that important in the end? Like, when you look back on life, you know, are you going to be thinking about the pants or, like, it's more about, like, the moments with your family and stuff. So I think it served the narrative for him to look back and be like, maybe I should have been this way instead, or like maybe I should have more growth or be more responsible, just for like the purpose of his character.
I think if they wanted to enforce a narrative around personal responsibility and accountability and stuff like that, it would have been better to have an older child because, again, as a 4-year-old, that is not on a 4-year-old to be thinking and feeling. A 4-year-old should just be a child.
I will say
we should not be putting like these adult concepts and responsibilities on them.
I guess they could have made him like 8 or 9 or something.
I could see that as a start to really reflect on your actions kind of age.
Yeah.
That being said, for a 4-year-old...
That's not reflecting on your actions. Like, that is... You're being unreasonable. Your feelings don't matter.
I gotta say, though, for like a lot of...
Like, an actual way to approach that situation is to sit down and discuss, why do you need the yellow pants? Okay, if we do the yellow pants, we're going to be late and that could impact our whole trip and then we can't actually go. What matters more, the pants or the trip? Like, there are ways to handle that situation.
I've dealt with toddlers with temper tantrums, so I understand where you're coming from, but I also think, too, that if you don't try to punish the kid a little bit, like, he's just gonna continue to seek guidance.
At 4, you don't understand why you're being punished. And punishment is never the answer, correction is. Yelling at your child does not help the situation any more than yelling at a cat or a dog. They do not understand what they did wrong, why it was wrong, and what they can do instead when you yell at them. To completely sidetrack us off of that, did anyone else feel like the voice actor for Kun was just a bit too not great?
They were a little old.
I watched the dub, so I watched the sub. I mean, I didn't watch the sub, I watched the dub.
How was the dub overall?
Yeah, I watched this one.
I liked it. I liked it a lot.
So in the Japanese, they had a woman who was like pitching her voice down, which I feel like is weird.
I thought it was weird too. It did strike me like the first couple minutes, like, oh, I don't like this. But I kind of got used to it, but it was kind of weird at first.
I don't know if this is just a thing of like, because I know like we will in America usually like sometimes have kids play kids in animation and whatnot. Do they do that much in anime?
I've seen it sometimes, yeah. I've seen children.
Okay. I wasn't sure
why would she pretend to have like a deeper voice though, I think is what bothered me. Like it's a 4-year-old.
Yeah, I wasn't even sure.
Children be high pitched.
I agree with that because I wasn't even sure. Like when the movie first started, you and me were kind of going like, "Is that a boy or a girl?" We have no idea. And I think I said like they're like 2. What's the difference? Because like you could just you should just be like a high pitched little kid.
I mean, nothing for nothing. A woman has been voicing Goku in Japan for over 40 years. So at this point, the Japanese can do whatever they want.
Yeah. I do like that from a production standpoint, and I don't know if anyone else knows this, it felt like the camera work all felt like it was coming almost from the level of the child the whole time, so it really did make it feel like the whole movie... The movie is from the kid's perspective, but it really felt like the movie was from the kid's perspective. Yeah. Did anyone else feel that?
Yeah.
And I feel like I've also brought this up with Mamoru Hosoda before. He has the most expressive faces for his characters, and I love it. Like, between this and Summer War and Digimon and everything, I love, like, especially whenever people are like, oh my god, what the hell? Or, like, some of the, it's fantastic.
Actually, we do have a time frame for how long had passed to the end of the movie, because we saw Mirai was growing her teeth.
Yes, she was. She got at least some bottoms.
He handed her some banana. I was like, no, 3 months is way too young for solids.
Okay.
And then she had teeth. I'm like, okay, there was
6 to 10 months.
6 to 10 months? Okay, so it's been like half a year about.
I guess so.
You know what? That makes sense. It was like winter whenever the movie started and she came home, and then they were like going for like a summer vacation thing at the end. So that makes sense.
I'm kind of disappointed we never actually saw Great Grandma.
We saw a picture of her, and she looks exactly like Great Grandma from Summer Wars, and I was like,
we did see Great Grandma at the very end at the movie where they're flying and they saw the race.
In a flashback.
Wow.
Yeah.
They had a flashback, but they had a picture of her. I think she was in the hospital at the time.
It sounded like she was such a driving element behind his mom, and we just never got any follow up on that. Did they say they were going to grandma or great grandma's?
They were going to grandma's.
Where was that trip? Okay.
Because I think great grandma is in the hospital. We saw like the picture montage, the end credit sequence that is the beginning of this movie. Which showed grandma in the hospital. Again, I hate to say it, it just makes me assume that it's the grandma from Summer Wars, and I'm like, okay, I already know who you are, and I love you, so I don't need to worry about it.
That would be interesting.
To take down the government.
That would be interesting if if they were like a secret background family, like as part of that big extended family from Summer Wars, and we're just finally getting to know one of them.
Oh my god, guys, wait. It's summer. What if they're going to the house and Summer Wars is about to happen?
What if?
Yeah, they're about to crash a satellite.
It's all connected.
Okay, if all of his movies are connected, that would be you know what? Nothing for nothing. Makoto Shinkai does it.
Yeah, true.
But then how would you connect Digimon with all the other stuff? Or maybe that doesn't count because it was like a TV movie that they made into a theatrical film.
Yeah, that's a license. I don't think it counts.
I think that anything that he wrote and directed that's like original could be possibly connected. You know what? We could work around it somehow. Hey, I'm going to throw this out there. Digimon Season 3 establishes that Digimon Seasons 1 and 2 are canonically fictional in that universe. So they could easily also be fictional in this universe and do exist. Directed by Mamoru Hosoda. It's at least an interesting thought.
But yeah, no, you guys were talking about the sub, but I thought the dub cast was really good. They had John Cho play the father in the dub, and then Al's boy, Daniel Day Kim, he was the great grandpa. So
he's my boy?
I thought you liked Daniel Day Kim.
Oh, I do like Daniel Day Kim. I don't think I ever thought about him as my boy. Oh, are we talking about like because he was in Avatar and he was shirtless, and I'm like, damn, he's keeping it tight.
Yes.
You're like, he was the good thing about it, best thing about it.
I don't think I said that.
Did you like it? I thought you didn't like it.
I was not a fan of some of the choices that they made.
That was the only thing I remember you liking.
I think visually a lot of the show works, but to be fair, like my main comparison is the movie, so you know.
Yeah.
And then they also
it was going to be an improvement no matter what.
Yeah.
and then they had Crispin Freeman playing the dog. So in other words, Alucard from Hellsing.
That would have been fun. I
Interesting.
hate to say it. The idea of like Crispin Freeman with his like somewhat vampire voice being the weirdo who shows up and like starts talking about your little baby
But
sister. I'm like,
that's just-
this is giving Labyrinth.
That is just Crispin Freeman in real life, though. Like,
I know. I want Mamoru Hosoda to make Labyrinth into anime.
Yeah.
This is what I want. I don't know who's gonna be David Bowie, but
Yeah.
Did they make a follow-up to Labyrinth?
no, they did a follow-up to Dark Crystal.
What's that about?
No, I did hear about a follow-up to Labyrinth. It might have just been a graphic novel.
They do
But
that
it was
a
about
lot.
Toby growing up.
I mean, you can't make a sequel to that movie. You can't replace David Bowie.
No,
No.
it's true.
But I think it was about Toby becoming the Goblin King.
Oh?
Don't you know
The
they're
baby.
gonna just
baby.
AI it?
The brother.
I mean,
The
it's
baby he kidnapped.
it's an interesting thing because you rewatch it and you realize all the pictures like of the mom from back when she was an actress. All of the pictures are of her and David Bowie. It might be his kid. What if the baby was the Goblin King's son?
So he wasn't kidnapping, he was just getting his joint custody.
Yup.
Interesting.
We agree.
Okay,
and you
so
didn't.
I looked it up. They have made 2 comic series. They had a prequel comic series and a sequel comic series. So
Cool. Well, now they need to make an anime.
But they still use the songs in the anime.
The licensing is going to be terrible, but it would be awesome. All right, we have any
I
other?
think they would need original music, and David Bowie's not exactly making original music.
That's true.
That's a weird way to say that. Oh yeah, he's dead. So
I mean, didn't Beethoven just come out with something new?
no. Okay, so what they did is they find the
I know.
they find the sheet music and then somebody else composes it, but they just say it's Beethoven or Mozart made a new single. It's like, well, technically yes, but also no.
Hold up, I didn't know New Beethoven just dropped.
I mean, it's not
Yeah.
new, it was just undiscovered.
Yeah, last year somebody recorded a never produced Beethoven symphony, and then in 2024 somebody discovered an unreleased Mozart piece. So you had a new Mozart and a new Beethoven back-to-back years.
What? This is like Biggie and
Yeah.
Tupac all over again.
Yeah.
All right, I feel like we're definitely off
It's like
subject
the
now.
pieces might not have been very good, though.
I mean, if they didn't want to release it in full, who knows? Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, do we have anything else to say about Mirai?
I might send this to my brother. He might appreciate this in the same way he got me onto Bluey. He was like, is this us? I'm like, this is definitely us. He does not watch anime, but maybe this will get him.
Or it's going to make him question whether or not you stuffed his face full of crackers.
No, we did that to my father. We decorated him in stickers when he was asleep.
Okay, I have one final. Why is it Mirai, no Mirai? Like, I would get it if she came up more often than she did, but she really only had, like, the one sequence where she was super relevant.
Yeah, I feel like the title was a bit misleading.
I think it's like Future from the Future. It's like, I think it's supposed to be like a fun idea for a name.
So it's like a play on words kind of thing.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, it's like the Legend of Zelda series. Most of the games are about Link, but the title is Zelda, so.
Like, what do you call
I mean-
this otherwise? You call it Boyhood.
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 Just
Boy.
boy.
Wasn't that a
Boy.
movie?
Why
What-
the fuck did they name him that?
Wasn't that an actual movie? Boyhood.
Yeah, that's the joke I'm making.
Okay.
If you do believe that this is actually, like, fantastic, it didn't start happening until they brought Mirai home, so maybe she is not the source, because the tree is the source, but she is definitely, like, a catalyst.
Her deciding to go back because she wanted to get married. But, like, it seemed like her future self was going to play more of a role after that, but then she just, like, never really did until the very end.
Oh, you know what? You know what it's like? It's like the Force Ghost from Star Wars. It's like nobody knows how they can commune, even if you explain the lore. They just come when the plot is right.
I think I would have enjoyed this more if it was more sibling shenanigans.
The sibling shenanigans really work.
Yeah.
And I think that is the strongest point of this, because every single scene I was like, yep, that was me. I'm cringing now, but it's kind of hilarious. That was absolutely that kid. I definitely did run away a number of times to be like, I'm running away. I'm gone now. I said I'm gone now.
Yeah.
I think I did see somewhere that like he was basing the director was basing this a little bit on some of the things his kids did, and I'm like, yeah, you definitely did. it was pretty
plural.
real. Yeah, he had I think his son was 3, and then he brought a kid home, and then he threw a tantrum because he was like, I'm not getting enough attention, and then he's like, okay, there is something here. All right. Mirai, I'm a yay here. I like this. I think I like all this guy's movies, and I probably should watch them more often, because, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm a yay. I really liked this overall, and I think it's comparable to his other movies. There are a couple I like more, like Wolf Children, but I think this one was still pretty high for me. I think the animation was lovely. The food looked excellent. I think the family relationships were really interesting, and the child's growth was interesting to watch. I think there were some relatable parts. I liked it overall, so yeah, it's a yay.
Yeah, I'm a full yay. I really enjoyed this movie. It just connected with me, and I Kozi, I'm not trying to be mean with you. I know me and you have our disagreements at times, but it's all from a place of love. So if you feel that way about the film, you're completely valid.
No,
that's just how I feel about the movie.
Again, this is all colored by personal bias of how we each grew up.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I really enjoyed this movie, and yeah, I definitely do want to watch the remainder of his feature films, because yeah, I know you and Cece love Belle, and then I heard nothing but good things about Wolf Children. I heard some mixed things about Boy and the Beast, but I hear it's still pretty decent. So yeah, I'm interested to see the rest of his films.
We're gonna have to pick a month.
Yeah, Belle, plot-wise, I think you might.
It's Beauty and the Beast. You've told me about it before. It's Beauty and the Beast. Yeah.
Kinda. Yeah, but there's like a weird romance.
Don't tell him anything else. We're gonna have a month for this.
Yeah, I know. But the music.
Music is good.
Yeah.
This movie's big yay for me. I do think it has a lot to do with your own childhood, and I think I had a pretty good childhood, so I like seeing that reflection in this movie.
Wow, what a fucking call out. Fuck you.
Someone had a shitty childhood, and that's why she doesn't like this.
Yes, I think I'm a hard nay, and I do think I agree where, like, if you didn't have, like, a good childhood and you might recognize patterns for how you were raised in this movie, I would skip it because it wasn't a good time.
I will say, I do want to talk about this, though, because I don't think we're going to be watching his stuff for a little bit. We talked before about how he was supposed to originally have directed Howl's Moving Castle, right? Mamoru Hosoda. I still would love to see the alternate world line where he's in charge of Studio Ghibli. Because nothing for nothing, this had some Ghibli vibes.
I think he would have done a much better job. Like, I love Howl's Moving Castle from Ghibli, but comparatively to the actual book, it's a miss.
I'm gonna have to read the book at some point, because
I have totally different.
I've heard the same thing.
Yeah.
But I just want to mention that because someone said something about, like, oh my god, the food in this. I'm like, dude, that's your Ghibli resume right there. Get some good looking food.
Okay, no, actually, Yin, what food? The only food I can think of is the crackers.
There was pancakes.
There was the pancakes. There was the Jello thing, which the Jello thing was kind of whatever. But like then there was the
Jello cake. I did not like that.
Oh, the jelly cake.
What about the fish bread? Whatever. I don't know what it is, but I've seen it a bunch of times. The mom was eating it.
Yeah.
Taiyaki. Yeah. I'm like, I was saying to you, like,
this good looking food.
This gives me kind of some Ghibli vibes, and I was like, well, wait, we have to wait till we see what he does with food. Oh, he could do the food.
I think it's because we were looking for it that we noticed it.
Yeah, but yeah, that's a last little thing. Anywho, we should talk about next week, where we'll be watching another movie that was up for an Oscar but did not win. When Marnie Was There, which came out in 2014.
Oh no!
This is a Studio Ghibli, so
Yeah.
we were talking about it a little bit.
Okay. Can I just give like a pre-warning here?
Sure.
It's very lesbian coded. Please do not think it is actual lesbian coded, dear God. And that is all I will say.
Okay.
They call that Yuri bait nowadays.
You'll understand when you watch it all
I've
the way
already
through.
seen it.
Just do not ever look at the two and be like, no, they deserve to be together. Just don't ever think it.
Okay, now I'm gonna be going into this with some interesting. I shouldn't say interesting. I'm gonna be like, okay, what's going on? I'm coming in with some curiosity as to where this is coming from. We will say this is a Ghibli movie that's not directed by Miyazaki, so it's one of those ones. But yeah, so yeah, we'll see what happens. Talk about maybe what it was up against, and I don't know. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Hey, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon for notifications. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like, and if you haven't already, check out some of our previous episodes, our daily gaming videos, or our parody series Madoka Magically Abridged. See you next time!